So how do you create a brand that truly represents who you are and the products you sell, as well as building a business that you can scale online? That is what this podcast will help you do. My name is Henry Kaminski Jr., and welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast.
Let me just make this statement loud and clear. Jersey's here, Jersey's here.
I'm going to jump in today and talk about a two-step social media strategy to build your audience online. So I've been digging into the books and going back into a lot of the notes that I've taken when I was in Russell Brunson's Inner Circle program for 2 years, and started to unpack some of that gold that I learned through that experience. And some of the things that I learned about social media gave me a very different perspective on it. And I wanted to share that with you today, because the way you look at social media could make or break your success with bringing and scaling your business online. So a lot of times people see social media as the opportunity to make money online, right? And you're going to use social media channels like Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and all of those platforms to make your money. But when you get out there and you start to see people trying to sell hard on social media, I don't know about you, but I get this little pit in my stomach like, woof, those guys or those gals look a little desperate. And you just get this feeling like, I don't know if I want to go there. You know, it just sounds like they're trying way too hard. And I fell for that trap. I'm not pointing fingers. You know, I went out there and I tried to hard sell people, you know, through my social media channels, and I didn't get much success. Social media is there to make friends. You go on social media to make friends, not money. And I didn't really understand that at first, but then he began to talk about it and explain it deeper. And he said, you know, social media is like one big party. So I was thinking back like, all right, let me go back to my college days when we used to have house parties, right? How did I want to be perceived when I walked into a party? Did I want to be the guy that was all quiet and shy? Did I want to be the guy who was perceived as like the jerk or the jock, or like, you know, too good for everybody? And you always like, you know, look down at people and talked condescending, or always talked about themselves, right? Or did I want to be the guy perceived as like the life of the party, the energy of the party? Like when I got there, everybody was excited to see me, and you know, and people come up to me and talk to me, and I was interested in them as much as they were interested in me. And you start to build that brand, that personal brand around yourself, right? So going into social media as looking at it as one big party and figuring out how you want to be perceived at that party is going to help you build that brand, right? Build that personal brand around yourself. So I want you to pay attention to that the next time you go out on social media and you're posting. So the next step I want to get into is, well, what do I post on social media to build an audience and attract the people that I want to attract? So I break this down into 5 core pillars. So every time I post, my post needs to fall under one of those 5 pillars of content. Otherwise, I don't post it. Okay, so my 5 pillars. And how do you create your 5 pillars? Well, the 5 pillars are created around your passion. So what are 5 things that you're passionate about? What are 5 things that you could talk hours about and not get tired? So for me, talk about my family. I could talk about funnels. I could talk about personal development and mindset stuff. I could talk about branding all day long. And I could talk about digital marketing. So those are my 5 pillars that I constantly post under to make sure that I keep my content very, very consistent and on point. Okay. The next thing you got to think about is, well, what do you want that post to do? What do you want that post to do? Do you want it to educate? Do you want it to entertain? Or do you want it to inspire? So think about what piece of content goes under what pillar, and then what do you want it to do? Do you want it to inspire, educate, or entertain? That's how you put out great content. Now, this content needs to be relevant to the people that you want to sell to. Okay. And this goes down the pike, right? So right now we're at the top of the funnel, which is the awareness stage, right? You're just trying to get people to get to know you and to find you online and not be so obscure. So once we start doing that consistently, now we can start getting a little bit more strategic in how we pull those people into our world. So here's what I want you to think about. I want you to look at 10 big influencers in your space that have the customers that you want already following them, and start to follow them. Start to follow them. And as you're following them, start to look at how they're posting, what they're posting, what's getting more engagement, what gets people fired up. And then go into the comments. So what I recommend is you go to one platform at a time. If you try to follow this particular person on all these different channels, you're going to get overwhelmed. So for me, my big platform is Instagram. So I follow my top 10 influencers and I comment on their stuff all the time. I now go into the comments of that post and their post, and I start interacting with the other people. So somebody may say something really profound or insightful, and I'll say, wow, I totally agree with that. And then I'll put some thoughtful comment behind it, like, I went through the same thing not too long ago, and this is the result that I got. Or this is a struggle that I went through, so believe me, you're not alone. And you start to create these dialogues in the comments of all these different influencers. So now the influencers see you communicating, and then they're reaching out, and now you're starting to get on their radar. You do this consistently enough, and they're going to start to pay attention to you, right? The other thing that's going to happen is those people that you're interacting with are going to say, who is this brand doctor guy? Or who is this gal that's chatting it up with me in this comment? Let me go over to their account and see what's up. And then when they see your content and how robust it is and how on point it is, because you're following the system that I just mentioned, they're like, this is a pretty valuable account. Let me follow it. Bink. They hit the follow button. Now, I've been doing this for a while. And to see the influx of quality following go from my influencers to me have been outstanding. And then from there, you have to be consistent with it. So stay consistent, because as you continually to show up in their feeds and put that value out there, eventually there's going to become a time where they're going to say, you know what? It's time to engage. You're going to say something, you're going to put something out there that is just going to grab somebody and say, now's the time. And now this is where you need to have a funnel in place. You need to have a money-generating website in place to generate that lead and to convert that lead into a sale. So we'll talk about funnels in another video, but I just wanted to give you a solid platform on how to engage an audience and start to convert that audience into your own following from your influencers following, and how to do that on social media. So I did want to point out one other thing. I have this really cool program that I bring out every once in a while, and I'm starting to see it pick up a little momentum again because of what's going on right now. People are looking for accountability. They're looking for guidance. They're looking for some hand holding, not this group coaching stuff where there's 500 people in the group and you're like a little dot, on a Zoom call, and you're lost within a sea of people inside of these group coaching programs. I have this group coaching program right now called the Brand Doctors Growth Club, and it is specifically built for a very small group. So I'm not going to put any more than 10 people in it. 10 people. That's it. I'm capping it at 10. And it is a accountability and guidance program. And basically what we do is we meet every 2 weeks. And my clients come with 3 or 4 choke points, and we hammer out those choke points, and then we set goals, and then we accomplish those goals over the next 2 weeks, and we rinse and repeat that every other week. And it has been outstanding. One of my growth club members, Josh Culler, he's just crushing it. This guy is an absolute doer. You tell him to do something, you put him in the right direction, and he goes, right? The problem that he had before coming into this program was he didn't know exactly what trigger to pull. So now he has somebody to go to every other week to give him the guidance, give him the insight, give him that outside perspective and put him in the right direction. And then he just goes, right? Another guy, Chris Fotomaris, same thing. Like he was in these coaching programs before, and he would reach out for help, and they would like shoot him a PDF, right? Here, go read this PDF and it'll solve your problems. And he was like, that's not the one-on-one. That is not the personal touch that I'm looking for. Does your program, before he signed up, he's like, does your program offer this personal touch? And I said, yes. You're getting me every other week. And then you also have a private Facebook group that we could jump in between to help iron out anything if you're stuck. So you get access to that private Facebook group as well. So if you're interested in this accountability and guidance program, drop me a comment and I will get you the link to sign up. There's no commitment. It's simply month to month. You come in for a couple months. I recommend you come in for a minimum of 3 to get the real value out of it. Hope you got some value out of this, guys. Any questions, comments, you know how to get me. Shoot me an email, shoot me a DM, and I'm happy to discuss this more in detail with you. So have an amazing day, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one real soon. Take care. Hey everyone, this is Henry Kaminski Jr. again, and really quick, I want to invite you to a one-on-one consult with me right now if you're looking for the clarity and focus you need to build your brand. Over the past 13 years, I've served hundreds of entrepreneurs that have great products but struggled tremendously with articulating its value to their ideal customers. You didn't get into business to just change a few lives, did you? Your ideal clients need you. And when your brand has precision-crafted messaging coupled with beautifully thoughtful design that sounds, looks, and feels like you, they'll know you're the perfect match for them. If this is something you're struggling with, what I want you to do right now is pause this audio and go visit www.uniquedesigns with a Z at the end, not an S, .net, and book your one-on-one consult call with me. Remember, the quality of your brand will determine the quality of your clients, and the quality of your clients will determine the quality of your life.